Hello out there, Bob here. This is my second video. No one has watched the first, so if you click on this one, you'll still have the honor and the distinction of being my first viewer. Okay, so it's a little awkward, I have to admit, making videos that I don't know if anybody's ever going to see, but everything I've read says to just keep at it. Keep at it and keep at it, and eventually people will find you. And if they like what you have to say, if they feel comfortable with you, you'll start to develop a following. So one of the benefits, being a little older, I think I have a little more patience and a little more perseverance now than I used to. I'm pretty sure in the past, decades ago, if I had tried something like this and didn't get any response right away, I would just quit. There's no question about it. I would get discouraged real easy and just stop and never push through. So that's one of the things that I've learned. I think probably a lot of us old-timers have, is that perseverance is really important. And if you don't keep pushing, you'll never know what would have happened. So that's why I'm still here, and I'm going to keep going. I mean, let's face it, this is still pretty early in the whole process. I was trying to think of something that might be a little interesting, hopefully, and a little interesting to talk about today. So I started remembering, for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason I started remembering my childhood when I was maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around those years. I was born and raised on the coast of Virginia and just lived a few blocks, maybe 3 blocks from the ocean. So in the summer, when we finished school, the last day of school, we took our shoes off and we didn't put them back on till we went back to school in the fall. Now, that's not literally true, obviously. I mean, we put them on to go to church on Sunday. But other than that, we were pretty much barefoot the whole summer. And it was wonderful. And I was remembering how over time your feet would get really calloused. You know, you get some pretty thick calluses on your feet, and they'd get pretty hard, and you'd get to the point where you could actually run on gravel. They'd get so, your feet would get so tough, and it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. We used to not have competitions, but just keep track of how everybody was doing with their feet getting tough. And of course, in the summer, the asphalt and whatnot would get blazing hot. Now, sometimes that would get too hot, I have to admit. But we'd always run to the beach and jump in the water. As a matter of fact, being barefoot all the time, you were bound to get cut every now and then. You'd step on a nail or a piece of glass or something, you know, something sharp, you'd cut your feet. We didn't, I don't know, back then, we just didn't pay much attention to it. I don't even remember getting Band-Aids too much. But what we would do, I remember this distinctly, is a couple of times I would get infections from the cuts. And what we used to do is just go down to the beach and stand in the water. And I'll tell you, that salt water is a great disinfectant. It would just suck the pus right out of those infections. And after a little while, you'd be good to go again. And speaking of being down on the beach, we had lifeguards, still do, but, excuse me. We had lifeguards who really were kind of a private service. They were there to be a lifeguard, but really what they were doing was renting chairs and umbrellas and things like that, little canvas rafts. So we would help them. In the morning, we'd go down there early in the morning, and we would lug the chair, the little easy chairs, and put them in the umbrellas, and set them up. And When you were real young, that was hard work. And we were helping the lifeguard out. So in return, some of them would pay you. At that time, I think we would get maybe $2 a week for helping. Boy, there's something, all this yawning. But what they used to do was to let us use the rafts. And that was really cool. They were, I don't know how long they were, maybe 4 feet by 2.5 feet. They were canvas. So we used to inflate them real hard. And if you set them in the sun, of course, the air would expand and they would get really hard. So you could go jump in the water with these rafts and we would surf on them. It was really hard to get up, stand on them, but you could catch a wave with one of these things and get up on your knees and ride the waves into the beach. And God, we spent hours every day doing that in the water, just body surfing and swimming. And, people would get up on your back and you'd have, fights where they try to pull you over and just all kinds of stuff. And it was a great life, really. And, we'd stay down on the beach, and then the end of the day we'd help them close up, carry everything back, and then go home, have some dinner. And it seems to me like, I just fall right to sleep. That would be the end of me. But after spending all that time on the beach, I was wasted. I was ready to go to bed. But one of the downfalls of that, of course, is now we're talking way back when. Okay, talk about the 1950s. They didn't pay a whole lot of attention to sun damage and things like that. As a matter of fact, what people used to do, this sounds crazy now, I know, they would get baby oil and put iodine drops in it because it would make it dark, and put that baby oil all over them, all over their face. It'd be this oil. And it was supposed to act kind of like a magnifying effect on your skin. So you get a lot darker, a lot faster with the tan. And that was the thing, to see how fast you could get a tan. But we weren't paying attention back then to the damage that was being done to our skin. It wasn't until much later that we realized we've done some damage. And you can tell, looking at me, I'm very light complected. I used to get a tan. I'd get a great tan. But now in my 70s, the bill has come due, and I've had quite a few mows, if you know what those are. I had one on the tip of my nose. Let me see if you can see. I don't know if you can see the scar right there or not. It's a line that goes down on the tip of my nose where they had to cut me open and start digging. That was fun. And then, you get the other little ones. They get the I call it burning. It's not. They're not burning it. They're freezing them off. I don't know what the propellant is, but they freeze them off your skin. Some of them they cut off. But I go to the dermatologist twice a year now, and just about every time I go, he finds a little something. So I try to stay on top of that. Don't need to be getting skin cancer. So that was fun. Childhood was fun. We had some mimosa trees, if you know what that is, and we'd climb up in the mimosa trees and just climb trees and have fun. Had a good childhood, really, real good. We'd go out and stay out in dark. Actually, God, I can't believe we used to do this. We had a mosquito control, and there was a guy who'd come around in a Jeep, and he had a tank set up on the back that produced a gas, a fog that it sprayed out, and he'd cover, maybe half a block with this fog, and we loved it. We'd go running out. We'd go running in that fog. And of course, it was a pesticide. And we'd go running in it, and I don't know why I haven't gotten lung cancer yet, but I haven't, thank God. But we did stupid things like that, and you know, parents didn't seem to mind. I don't think they were aware of the dangers. And we'd stay outside till we just couldn't stay outside. I mean, it'd be dark, and we'd come home. So those were some pleasant memories I have. I have a lot of them. Kind of makes me wonder where my parents were now that I think about it. Why weren't they keeping better watch on us? Back in those days, it wasn't as dangerous to be outside for a kid. And we didn't have Xbox and all those games and everything. As you know, we had to use our imagination, and that's what we did. And I think we're better off for it. I don't know about you guys, but I think we are. I think we're much better off. So I'm not going to get into anything heavy like that right now, but I just wanted to pop in again, start to establish some kind of a routine for posting on here. Today is a Thursday, and I think I posted my first one on Monday. So Monday, Thursday might be kind of a good routine for me. And then I'll do an occasional short. But again, like I said initially, if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, if you have a topic or a question or anything like that, any concern you might have, please post it in the comments, and I'll read it. I respond to comments. Any comment you make, I will respond, good, bad, or indifferent, and we'll take it from there. So I'm just going to keep plugging along here, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. Have a good day.